Do you think TV shows are art?
Yeah.
Do you think Instagram is art?
The app itself? Or like what people post?
I mean, what people post.
If
If I scroll Instagram, am I seeing art?
I think Instagram has a lot of mediums that a lot of it could be art, yeah.
Could be art?
Or is art, because it's some of the things that they post is literally art.
Okay, some things are like photography that's like meant to be artistic, but like a selfie.
I mean, is that like, it depends, because like with someone's just taking a picture, like a family photo, is that considered art?
What do you think?
I don't think it's intentional to be art.
Okay, sure, all right. What about YouTube? So YouTube, most of the videos, like not just like a random podcast, not like our podcast that we're doing right now.
Yeah.
But like a video that's edited and there's some kind of something going on. Like, do you watch Mr. Beast? Do you like Mr. Beast?
No, I don't like Mr. Beast.
You're aware of him?
Yeah.
Is that art?
I think I would say no, because I would say it's about intention, but I can say some things can be done artistically.
Okay.
And then that would say, like, are they doing this because of, so okay, so I'll take it like this. Like, it's like being a bartender, right?
Okay.
But there's really no creative bartenders. You know, it's just, are you gonna prepare this drink? But it's like, how much care are you gonna put into it? So I would say it's kind of like the same thing with that type of media, like a game show. Like, their intent is not to be artistic, but the people behind it, let's say the editors of that show, are doing like some artful things in that type of trade. I mean, I would just say, like, that's just like how well you can see. I don't know. That's would I call that art? It's like, how well can you be a swordsman, right? Is being a good swordsman considered art? Because it's just like, yes, you can be creative and expressive through like how you, but would they see then that I would say it's all about intent at that point.
Would they consider art themselves?
Yeah, but like, it's like, in a way, I think Naoya, in a way, he's like one of the most precise like one of the best boxers right now. But is he trying to be artful? Does he see the art in his work, or is it just about how well are you trying to be, like, how well are you trying to be a boxer? You know, like, so it's just, I would say it is kind of artsy, and like, how, like, what would you say?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure how to define it, in that I don't know how to delineate it. I think that art involves improving techniques, but also creating new techniques, like creating new forms of expression, or creating new ways to appreciate art. I think that's a major part of art.
I think I would say it is art, because this is going to sound very stupid, but if we take the art out of art.
Okay, yes, let's take out the art. Yeah, okay.
So like,
art out of art, yeah.
But like, it still holds that, it's like being a swords person, right? Or a swordsman. Like, it's about how precise you can be an artist. So, I mean, does that make sense?
Kind of, but not really.
Like, okay, so like, let's say art was more seen as, like, painting was seen more of a trade, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like, how well can you put this on paper?
Yes.
Like what we're seeing right now.
Right. And this was common in like the 1500s.
Right.
The Renaissance era. They wanted to faithfully reproduce things.
Right.
And there was like a show of skill if you could draw or paint a fruit basket with half of the fruit decaying, and you have different textures, and you have these different, like, and you'd want to be really precise on how you're drawing it, and it's really just faithfully reproducing the actual thing that you see.
So then is like, so it is a skill,
It is good.
and I guess that with any skill, art can be produced within it.
Hmm.
Do you agree?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know how to define it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, that's what art is like how well can we reproduce this thing?
Mm.
And
But I think it's also creating something new. It has to be. Well, it didn't have to be. I think there's also creating something new. I think that's a major part of it, because even in the, like I said about a Renaissance, if you're drawing things faithfully, that's one thing. But then once you start to adjust the painting so that it fits well in the frame, you're not just drawing it faithfully, but now you're making sure that the framing of it is good. You've created something new because you've created the limitations and you've created the framing and where to put the framing.
I mean, I think that also is just an idea,
Sure.
right? It's
Yeah.
just, but I think we can also do that with a skill that doesn't produce art in that way.
Mhm.
Like, let's say I want to move my body like this as I throw my sword, because
Mhm.
so it's just like reproducing that idea of,
Reproducing the idea. If you're moving your body in a certain
because
way.
like what I mean is, like, we can talk about framing this in different ways,
Right.
right? But essentially, those are just ideas that we're thinking right now. We're
Yes.
just putting it in a way where it can be
Gotcha.
seen.
So
So
you're reproducing the idea that you already have.
right,
That's what you're saying.
through like art, like, well, painting,
Mhm.
or through your skill.
Right, but there's also there's a more of a development, right? Like if you have an idea, you do have an idea and you do try to reproduce it, but then once you've reproduced it or halfway reproduced it, you change your idea and it redevelops.
Well, I mean, I would say that's something like bartending. Like, if you're just like mixing flavors and stuff. I know I just said bartending wasn't artful, but now, like, now I disagree. I had that opinion because of what a bartender was saying. Like, it's just like, how well do you want to be at your skill? But now, like, I mean, there is an art but in it, right? Like, that's how we got food. There's a, like, would you consider a chef an artist? Like,
Depends on the type of chef, but I think there's I'm only developing these ideas right as I'm sitting right now. But I think there's like sometimes there's an interplay between the food, or like if you're cooking and you're changing what you're cooking based on how it tastes.
yeah.
Or like, I make tea and I change how I brew based on how the tea turns out. Right. If I were to have an idea of how to brew tea and I stuck to it exactly, that
I wouldn't consider. Okay, go on.
yeah, that might not be considered art,
Right.
or maybe it's a different form of art. But
And
if I'm not interacting or changing it
Right.
based on anything,
and that's how art began.
Mhm.
Like, just reproducing that one thing all the time. You know?
right.
So
But a reproduction of only the same exact thing, I don't think that's art.
that's what I'm saying. That's
Right.
how, like, that's what I was saying about you making the tea.
Mhm.
Like, it's not art until you're trying to do what you said.
Right,
You know?
right. Yeah, maybe there's something there. I don't know.
There is something there. I just don't know how to say it or prove it.
Yeah.
Cause, like, I mean, it's just, I guess the only difference is how it's being produced, because we call art because we can visually see it, right?
Okay. Well, there's also music and blah.
And music, yeah. Oh, like, the way that we sense it
Okay.
is easier for us to sense, right?
But
Or even smell. So, like, if we're pertaining to the senses,
Yeah.
maybe that can be a chef's
yeah, of course.
goal, is to have you experience
Yeah.
that smell. So
Yeah. I mean, I think a chef, like a Michelin star chef, they're an artist. Yes, I
Mhm.
think so. But like that's different from like a
Yeah, cook.
A line cook would not be much of an art.
I mean, but
artist. It could
if he
be,
does
but-
his art, I mean, artfully, if he's really trying to serve the platter in a,
yeah, I mean, I guess he could be. I don't know. I don't know how to distinguish that.
I don't know. Yeah, I feel different because yeah, I think skill is art.
There's a philosopher. His name is Tomas Kulka. He has this idea of what kitsch is, and he
Mhm.
tries to define kitsch as the opposite of art. So art is like the real thing, and then kitsch is like just not art.
Mhm.
And kitsch is when you're not doing anything new, and you're overly relying on like emotional things. So like let's say
Emotional things.
like for example, we talked about crime TV shows like
Mhm.
CSI or something, and
Mm.
there's no risk taking. There's
Right.
no exploration of anything new. It's just like we know what humans are going to
Feel in this moment. Yeah.
yes, and we're just going to play on their emotions,
Right.
and that's it. There's no new possibilities, nothing exploratory. We're just
Right.
going to be kind of pulling the strings of their emotions and nothing more.
Mhm.
And that's kitsch because essentially it could be replaced by any other. Like the idea is that any episode could be replaced by any other episode,
Mhm.
and then any crime drama that's of that same type of caliber would be replaceable with any other crime drama. If you're watching it in the background, it doesn't matter if it's CSI or NCIS
Right.
or blah blah blah, because they're all the same, totally replaceable. It's kitsch, not art. Whereas art would be something actually making a mark in the world, like it'd be something useful. If it were removed, it would make a difference.
Mhm.
If it exists, it makes new possibilities. Right now, people make TV shows differently because Breaking Bad exists,
Mhm.
and the world would be measurably different if you replaced Breaking Bad with
Mhm.
NCIS. That's kind of like the general idea of that.
No, I love that idea.
Yeah, it's
That
interesting.
I I I had it was something was cooking, but now it happens all the time where it's just like you feel like you've gone into a different dimension. You just come right back like, what the fuck was I thinking about? Does that ever happen to you?
I mean, sometimes
Like, like you feel like you broke out the Matrix just for a split second. You're just like, what the fuck was I thinking about? Oh yeah, I don't believe that Matrix, but that's just like a good, like like you're just like, where the fuck am I? And then you just like come back. Oh no, no, I was what the fuck?
Take your time.
Sorry, I don't. I'm trying not to. You can just cut all this out, right?
No, I want in
Oh,
there. It's just so
man, I mean,
good.
like this part where I'm thinking.
Yeah,
The
no, I
part-
think. Yeah,
Okay.
very true, man.
What the fuck? I don't think I'm gonna catch it, man.
Okay.
But no, that's because that's what I feel. A lot of this is not the idea, but like kitsch, it can be in not just like television and art, but like skill. Like it's this the. No, that's not hitting.
No, but it's right. I mean,
No,
I'm gonna just play off of that. Like,
yeah,
if there are some things where like I could be slightly better at cooking or
right.
slightly worse, and it doesn't matter. Like,
Mm,
and in that case, like it's replaceable. Like
mhm,
my skill doesn't matter how much better or worse I am. But when I'm drinking tea, if I do it poorly, that's a problem, and I want that to not happen. And if I do it well, not anybody could replace me and do it as well. Like at that point, I'm non-replaceable, which means that I'm actually doing something artistic.
mhm.
It's not just like a commodity or not just kitsch in that case.
I think I just had it. Like it's just people can tell when art is being performed. Like and not even just in like art, but like even like seeing Kyrie Irving play basketball,
Mhm.
where you're just like,
Mm.
I've never seen
Right.
someone perform like move like this. It's I
Mhm.
think it's very easy for people to recognize when there's something that's not kitsch.
Mhm.
Like God damn it. It's like right there. It's like on the tip of the tongue. Like, fuck. Uh, shit. It was right there. It was right there. When I think when, yeah, it's like when people, I feel like when shows are deliberately trying to like pull an emotion, it's easy for it to be, you know, like, oh, this is a tearjerker, right?
Mhm.
But when they have those, like, I'm taking TV for example, like when you choose the moment to not identify with something, like with an emotion, that's when it's more novel. When they are able to take risks. Like Breaking Bad stands out so much because it wasn't the norm,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
Like it's very hard for things to say, like NCIS, everyone knows it, but it doesn't stand out, you know?
Right.
So it's like when they, like what I was saying, once they stop being kitsch, like it's very easy for the population to recognize it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. I think so. Yeah.
Hmm.
I think a part of, I'm just thinking psychologically speaking here, like this goes back to something I've mentioned before about memory. If you watch something and it's not memorable, that is an indication that it's replaceable, because you could just replace it with any memory and like you wouldn't even notice.
Right. Yeah.
But if it's something really good, if you replace it with the wrong memory, you would notice, which would make it more likely for you to replace it. I mean, reproduce the memory properly,
right.
so you actually remember it, or it makes you want to go back and watch the show,
Right.
so that you actually remember it.
No, I agree. I agree. I was thinking about that a lot this last week too, and because like there's a lot of things that were just like, I would play this album multiple times to see what am I really catching. And like, I caught all the ones that I can sort of remember the ones that I like vaguely.
Yeah.
But the ones I do not like, is just like, I don't even remember this being on the album.
Right.
I was just like, yeah. So, and yeah, I've been doing that a lot. I've been listening to a lot of different albums because I'm gonna start, doing my music reviews. So
Nice.
yeah, I was doing a lot of that just to see what works. Even songs that I didn't particularly like the first listen, like listening into it. I know like they have this thing called exposure bias, but I was like realizing what made it good, and that was very just an interesting process to like think about while I'm doing it. Like it was just, yeah.
That's cool.